Okay, basics of ratio and proportion. D grade, meaning the very basics in higher and midway in your foundation paper. So you're left with the premise that you've got 20 students, and between 20 students they've got 75 CDs. Okay, and they want to know if you can reduce that ratio anymore. So your ratio of students to CDs is 20 to 75, and you want to simplify this as much as possible. You look for numbers that go into both. Right, well 20 has a factor of 4, it has a factor of 2, it has a factor of 10, none of those go into 75, but it also has a factor of 5. So there are, in this case, we can divide both numbers by 5, so divide 20 by 5, divide 75 by 5, and you're going to be left with 4 to 15. So another way of saying this is to simplify the ratio as much as possible. For every 4 students you would expect 15 CDs, if for every 20 students you've got 75, and that would be simplifying ratios. A very quick example of simplifying another ratio would be to say if you had 300 pupils to 10 teachers, okay, and you want to find the ratio of pupils to teachers as simple as possible, well both numbers divide by 10, so you've got 1 teacher for every 30 pupils. Okay, there's a quick example of another one. Right, however, what if somebody came up to you and said, right, we know how many CDs 20 students have, but I want to ask how many CDs would I expect 30 students to have? Well, then what you'd have to do is you'd have to find some way of multiplying 20 up to get 30. Now, probably the easiest way to do this is to reduce the 20 to 10 and then multiply back up. Okay, so I scratch what I did before. Okay, so I want to make 30, so I'm going to divide by 2 to get the ratio of 10. I'm going to divide this one by 2 as well. I'm going to get the ratio of, what, if I get this right, 37.5. That should be half of 75. And then if I want the 30, then I'm going to times by 3, and I'm going to get 30 students. I would expect to have 3 lots of 37.5, so that's 37.5 onto 75. Egods, that's going to be 112.5 CDs for 30 students. Okay, not a fantastic example because of course you can't have 112.5 CDs, but you get the gist and the idea. If with 20 students you'd found that they had 75 CDs, you're expecting with 30 students around about 112.